Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Becoming a Hero in Company Heroes 2. My name is ATR, and we're going to be not playing some 1v1 multiplayer action right now. And by not playing, well, as I've said before, I am now commentating on top of it while the game is already underway. So anyways, we head straight in, once again, playing as a US and doing the airborne strategy that I know you guys are a little bit tired of. Now, a bit of a disclaimer on this one as well. These were played several days ago, and I am not gonna precisely remember exactly what I did, but hopefully it comes back to me as the game progresses. But yeah, it's gonna be a little bit different because it's not immediately after the game, which I was doing with the other ones. So yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, hopefully it's still okay, and we can still draw. So yay, squiggles! Anyways, so this is, once again, like I said, the airborne. I'm going to be selecting it in a little bit, which is just going a 3 rifle opening into ambulance. So it'll take a while to get there, but the important thing is what I do with them. So I've been noticing, obviously, that with the Oberkommando, which I'm fighting against right now, spoiler, I do remove, since I'm doing this post-recording, I am removing the loading screen because, well, why would we want to look at the loading screen, right? So, just so you know, beforehand, I'm going up against Oberkommando. So the Storm Pioneers do rip my infantry to shreds if they're on a one-on-one, so I am focusing more now on trying to keep my infantry together and fight together. I don't really like blobbing, and I don't want to think of it as blobbing, but I do want to keep most of my infantry together. So the initial strategy, or at least thought process of mine, is to have the 2 riflemen and these guys, the rear echelon, yeah, together, and have my 3rd rifleman squad just cap around the map. So I'm going to be sending these guys like through the center in this direction, and then the other one just send it to cap like the edge that I'm not going to be focusing on. So there you go. So I notice some capping in the center, so I send my 2 troops straight into the center together, and I get my 3rd one in there as well. So I'm figuring, okay, well, if he's around here, since he capped it already, I'm going to go for his fuel, and I notice, well, he doesn't actually have the fuel. I notice right there in the mini-map, you can tell that the point is flashing, so I'm like, oh, okay, so he's capturing over on this side. So I'm going to send my troops over there and try to engage. I send my riflemen and run straight into a Stone Pioneer. I run back because I know that I can't take these guys on, and I bring in my rear echelon, activate the volley fire, which has been nerfed at this point, and it no longer like insta-pins and things like that. But it does, add some additional support where they'll get suppressed. And I bring my 3 squads in together to push. I notice, okay, well, he's alone and he's pulling back. I'm going to press the advantage and keep on going forward here. My 3rd rifleman squad is on the field. I have it in the center there, but I'm not focusing right now since I'm in this fight and I'm chasing down that Storm Pioneer squad. And I am building my ambulance. So trying to stay on top of the production while at the same time fighting. Very difficult for me. I'm not a pro player or very good at RTS, but, well, there you go. So now I noticed, oh yeah, these guys are not doing anything. Let's send them over here since that point is being captured, and let's go back to the fight. I almost get that Storm Pioneer squad. I'm trying to focus it down, but there it goes. I notice another one there, and in retrospective, not really a smart idea to get right on top of Storm Pioneers with their rifles, or SMGs or assault rifles, whatever they have. And this rifleman squad there gets beaten down to 2 men. And once again, I almost get the kill on that squad, but, well, there you go. So I figured, okay, well, I won that engagement. I'm going to send that squad a little bit back and have it cap. And I have it cap this point, or, well, that point right there. And retreat afterwards. No reason to instantly retreat it. And then I'm going to send my guys to cap this one and these guys to cap back here if they can, while my ambulance is out. Also, again, in hindsight, is what I was trying to say, I shouldn't retreat this other 2-man squad since my ambulance is already on the field. I could have potentially kept it on the field and fighting, but, well, I didn't want to risk it getting killed, so right now, as you can tell up here, it's retreating, and it's going to go back to base, even though my ambulance was already near it. So my riflemen over here on the left-hand side did capture that point, so I'm going to send them just to Q cap like this side of the map, since I'm focusing over there. Center map, my ambulance gets a little bit shot up there. You can tell that it took a little bit of damage there, but it's fine. Look at it up there, right here. So I'm sending my guys back. I got 2 squads right here together. over here on this side. And I call in my Pathfinders, as I should with the airborne doctrine, and I have my 2-man rifleman squad reinforce. Problem is, like I said, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have retreated it because I'm actually going to forget about that for a while. It's going to reinforce and stay completely reinforced back at base for too long, actually. So there you go. You can actually see it that it's back there, and it's not going to move. So I have my riflemen in my rear echelon, and I'm bringing them back. I have my Pathfinders that are a little bit behind them that just captured that point. The one right here. And I see a Storm Pioneer squad coming. I move to engage it and get myself into heavy cover with my riflemen. Have the rear echelon behind them. And there we go. The Pathfinders are going to also move into support. And again, my rifleman squad is back at base, not doing anything. So that's a big mistake there by my part. Could have a lot more forces, but yeah, well. I gotta multitask a little bit better. So right now I'm just waiting for the cap, and I decided to move down with my troops. I thought that my rear echelon for some reason was in range to capture the point, the munitions point up there, but it actually wasn't, and it takes me a while to notice that. So yeah, that's a mistake by my part. I see like, oh wait, these guys aren't there. Let's put them at the edge. There you go. Because I moved them to repair the ambulance, but I thought for some reason I thought they were right there at the edge. So I'm trying to cap the point. We see a big push here by the Overcommandos, and I activate volley fire on my echelons, but they're getting focused down to 2 men. I back them off, but they can't get reinforced by the ambulance since it's not in territory, so I need to move the ambulance to the edge of the territory. My guys are down here. They're doing a decent amount of damage. Grenade goes down, but manages to get dodged for the most part. I focus fire that guy, and down it goes. Nice little pickup there for me, and I move back down. The echelons are now getting reinforced, and these guys continue to move back as I get them into both healing range, even though the healing only takes effect while you're not in combat, and reinforcement range of my ambulance. So now I'm able to fight on more of my terms. But then comes this truck that I've never seen before, at least not at that point, and it does that to my infantry. Gets one of them suppressed, and the others move out of the way. I did get my captain now out, which is already coming onto the field, so I'm figuring, okay, I can probably fight these guys. My rear echelons get beaten down, so I'm forced to retreat. And the other guys popped into the house to get a little bit more defense. I keep my guys over there, and I notice, oh, these riflemen are all the way to the victory point and not doing anything. That point down there is getting contested. Let me send it over that way, and then focus back on the fight. Now, I pop my rifleman squad into the tower to be able to see across the wall, and then I send my captain out there because I didn't know that the truck can actually do that. It insta-pinned my squad, essentially, so I'm forced to retreat. So it would have actually been probably better to put the captain in the tower, and it may have actually had a range to shoot over the tower and hit the truck. Thankfully, though, I was following my build order that I'm normally doing, and I got myself an AT gun already, which is already out on the field, so I should be able to fight that half-track a little bit better, that flak truck. So, for now, a little bit passive here, just sending my troops out to reinforce and repair. Finally, those riflemen are now out back on the field. They're coming down here, I believe, through that path there. But yeah, there they go. They took a long nap, some R&R, and now they're back to the fight. So I'm thinking, okay, well, everything is going decently. I haven't lost any squads. I have about half the map controlled. I'm going to set up my AT gun to cover that angle and send my Pathfinders to spot. The Pathfinders do get shot up a little, but they do manage to spot that. Shot goes off from the AT gun, hits the truck. Truck has to set up to move out of the way, so a second shot goes in, takes it out, and a nice pickup for me, so that puts me in a very nice spot. Rear echelons are going to repair that truck. We do have an engagement in the center going down. The Storm Pioneers are going to win the engagement on both sides, so I retreat both of my riflemen squad. Don't want to lose them. I will gladly concede that territory for now. Going to be sending down a heavy machine gun, 50 cal machine gun to this side so that I can pick it up and reinforce my echelons. And it'll take a little while to drop, so I pop my heal there on the truck, make sure that all those guys are getting nice medical attention, and at the same time capturing the munitions up in the front. Now, munitions is not really too important for me, at least not the style that I'm playing, because currently I'm not utilizing it too much. That may change, I believe, in future games, because I have actually been growing a lot fonder of the grenades. They are amazing, and they just wreck face. So yeah, I'm having to debate like at what point should I get the grenades, like sacrifice my teching speed for grenades. But I don't know. For now, I'm following that order and trying to get that steward out as fast as possible, which is coming out right now. So with the steward coming out a little bit and my troops at full strength and 50 cal machine gun fully reinforced, I'm pushing out. I run myself into an AT gun, which is, well, a rocket AT gun. And grenades flying my direction. Those are doctrinal grenades. Those are like surprise grenades. So everybody throws a grenade. They're not too powerful. But I only lose one there, and my opponent isn't really too happy about that, and he'll make his opinions in a second. But I am able to push back, and there he says, 6 grenades, 1 person killed. This game sometimes. And, well, my response is, well, RNG, man. RNG. So, Captain is able to push forward, forces infantry to retreat, and my Pathfinders are behind them. The steward is on the field. Now, I did see the AT gun, so I don't want to send my steward out too aggressively. So I'm going to put him behind that hedge and support my troops a little bit. Over on the left-hand side, unfortunately, though, I do lose track of those riflemen, and the riflemen do get eliminated. We'll be making mistakes, unfortunately, so shit happens, right? So now that I've been able to push him back, I push forward, and yeah, like I said, like there's this hedge right here, so I have my steward behind it so that he at least can try and take cover if an AT gun starts shooting at him, and he can provide support from behind for the infantry right there in front of it. So I send my 50 cal machine gun to capture the center point. Probably would have been better to send the 50 cal machine gun a little bit further forward, like maybe around there, and use something else to capture the center point, but well, that's what I did this map. So I send my Pathfinders over to the right-hand side so that they can spot a little bit forward in the base. I do see that he has his trucks right there, but I get artillery there. I'm bombarded, not sure exactly what the hell it is. And my Pathfinders almost get killed, but fortunately, though, they stay alive. Captain able to push back the troops. Does need a little bit of loving there, as he is very low in health and down to 3 men only. My troops back here are also getting reinforced and healed up, so they need to push forward and help out. And over on the left-hand side, he apparently sent something to cap because I keep losing points, and they kept getting capped, so yeah. So the captain does pull back. He's going to pull back to the ambulance, which I have back here. I need to push it forward a little bit more, and I will. And I decided to send a blind paradrop at around this point to see if I can start recapturing territory, since I lost my rifleman squad. And I also send riflemen over on the right-hand side to cap. They get naded there, so they're forced to retreat. And I do have the steward there in the center, helping out. The captain did back off a little bit. It didn't back off all the way so that it could fight any incoming troops. My riflemen are also a little bit battered, but the ambulance should be moving up to them. And I send my steward in this direction. The paratroopers are going to go cap. They did lose 2 of their men in the drop, as they probably dropped into the trees. And popping some heals to get everything back in order there. And I noticed Stone Pioneers over here, so I sent the steward in this direction. Stone Pioneers can't really do anything against the steward. My paratroopers are not going to be able to win that fight, so I send them back. I don't send them back all the way, just back to be at long range while the steward gets in the way. And these riflemen get a little bit battered there up front. Going to move back, get them reinforced. You have Pathfinders back there that need to get themselves up there. And the steward does end up killing there, and I very luckily keep my paratrooper squad alive there. Should have just gotten them out of there completely, but fortunately for me, they stay alive. And I am now building my major, which I probably should have built a long time ago, but well, I'm a little bit distracted with the engagement here. So he pushes forward, Stone Pioneers and Volks. I have my Pathfinders, my Echelons, my Captain, so I have a lot of troops here in the front. I am getting bombarded, however, by some type of artillery gun. Not exactly a mortar, but again, at this point I wasn't too familiar with what the Oberkommando can offer, so I was getting a little bit intimidated by that indirect fire. On the left-hand side, the Volks move in, but we do have an MG or 50 cal machine gun there. It does get naded by the Volks, but it is very near the not half track, the thing with the stuff, the ambulance. So I can reinforce it very easily. So my troops over here on the right-hand side do get a little bit beaten, but they are able to just simply backpedal a little bit and get into reinforcement radius by that and push forward. I do notice that he has 2 trucks right in front of them, so I am going to push. I have my paratroopers already fully reinforced, and I move up the AT gun to get some shots off. I have the commander also with some damage, so I'm going to try and take down his truck. And I also remember that one of you guys told me in one of the previous games that you can lay down very quickly demolition charges with your paratroopers. So I'm doing this right here in between both tanks, trying to set him up, and there it goes. Charge is set. 3 seconds, 2, and there's a lot of damage on this truck, and boom, there it goes. I managed to destroy his truck over here on the left-hand side and severely damage the one on the right. I am still in a very good position here to take it down. I have my captain there. Captain did take quite a beating there with that shot from the artillery gun or indirect fire gun, whatever the hell it's called. And I am essentially forced to retreat. Down to 1 man. I did pop out my crew from the steward to capture the points. The captain manages to take out the truck, and I actually think I don't even retreat. I just backpedal here. I did manage to decrew the AT gun there, so I'm actually in a pretty good spot here, especially taking down both of his trucks, so I'm feeling very confident here. I already got my major out. The major is on the way. I could retreat, and there it goes. I set up the retreat point for the major and retreat my troops to get back to them, and I'm already building the howitzer tank thing. Oh, excuse me. Over on the far left-hand side, I did pop out my crew from the steward to be able to take the victory point, and I send my rifleman forward. You can now tell that he has 2 of those indirect fire weapons, so I'm having a little bit of an issue here. It actually nails my AT gun there, but fortunately it doesn't kill any of the men in there, so I'm able to reinforce it. I pull my 50 cal machine gun a little bit forward. A nasty grenade goes down on my riflemen. The riflemen are going to retreat. My captain is not in range to reinforce, so I need to move him a little bit to the right-hand side, but I do want to keep my my ambulance there, you know, nearby, so that it can also reinforce a little bit further forward. And over on the far right hand side, I have 2 troops moving over there to capture the rest of the territory. I notice this one is capped. The steward is back in order, so I'm going to send it pretty much forward to get more stuff. AT gun does need some loving there with the reinforcements. We do still have the captain and the Pathfinders over on the left-hand side. The MG is going to be taken out here by those Storm Pioneers, but thankfully I can just, you know, recover it, so I'm not too worried about that. And I decide that the riflemen are the perfect candidates to take that machine gun. I push forward. And I'm going to just push to C. I do have my tank over there, so I decide to send them over on the right-hand side to have a little bit more range and a weird arc of fire there to be able to start sieging his base. My Pathfinder does take a nasty shot there, so I decide to send them back. The captain pushes forward to try to get in range for some bazooka shots, but does not manage to do so. The rifleman will move forward and recover that 50 cal machine gun. And I decide to move my ambulance a little bit forward to see if they can actually get in range of the 50 cal machine gun to reinforce, but it does not manage to, so I just pull it back a little bit to be able to keep those infantry in check. Right hand side, you can tell that I'm not moving my troops, so I'm a little bit focused here on this engagement. Also, I have my steward right there on top of the point, and I haven't popped him out. My howitzer truck is bombarding the base now a little bit, but it is getting shot back in return by his artillery guns. But thankfully, though, those don't actually do too much damage to troops. I notice over on the far left-hand side, he sent some Volks to capture the point. I do have my steward tank over there, so I should send him directly there. And my captain is forced to retreat, as he is now down to 2 men. Pathfinder is also retreating, as they will not be able to hold the line. And my 50 cal machine gun will get reinforced and healed. Everything getting healed up back there, and yeah, I mean, I'm feeling rather good here. Don't have a lot of manpower. I'm spending it all on reinforcements. But now I'm just gonna chase down his Volk Grenadiers and trying to kill them with the Stuart. Center map. Storm Pioneers pushing forward. They're getting themselves behind that 50 cal machine gun. The 50 cal machine gun gonna be taking a beating here, but I do have my captain, my Pathfinders. The Tony Kaku, my enemy, says the game is stupid sometimes and surrenders. He has had enough. And there we go. So I tried to say the GG, but it doesn't go through.
That's it.
And there we go. With the loud ass voice that you probably don't hear loud because I edit that afterwards. But and I got a win. So I was pretty happy with this game. It went pretty well. I feel a little bit of improvement in my control. Still made some mistakes, obviously, and I could have done things better, but I feel that was great. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any comments, leave it there, and I'll see you next time.